earlier when we had a conversation, you mentioned the term brand drift. Could you unpack that for us? What does that mean? What's the downsides of using AI? And also, a lot of people aren't going to give it up. So, how can you still use it, but actually use it wisely to reduce brand drift?
So people are very, very sensitive to the brands they love and how those brands communicate. They're really part of our culture and part of our lives, the brands that we enjoy. And if you just go to large language models and you put in prompts, and maybe the first thing that happens is you can fall into what I call the sameness trap. You're using the same large language model. You're using the same top 50 prompts you heard about on LinkedIn or the top 20 prompts you heard about on Facebook or wherever. And inevitably, the output begins to sound the same. And unless you're very careful with large language models, they are trained on everything. And their output is generally a kind of fairly general version of everything. It's not unique. So unless you're careful, if you use large language models at scale, you are going to come out with content and communications that are very similar to your direct competitor, which obviously is a disaster. So you have this huge productivity gain, but you have this erosion of what is unique about the brand because the story's not there. The narrative is the same as everyone else. Everyone is saying, make our content authoritative but accessible. There's the voice. So people are saying the same thing. So you fall into this thing called the sameness trap. And that absolutely, hey, companies have spent decades, sometimes a century, establishing a unique brand. And so, yes, there are productivity gains, but you have to be a lot more organized and formal and structured in how you use these so that you can protect your brand as well as getting the productivity benefits.